Hello everybody, this is Nantox from NTF Gaming, and today I'm going to be bringing you another episode of This Is Why I Love It. I haven't really done one of these in a long time, but with the onset of Xenoblade 2 coming on the Switch very soon, I decided it'd be fun to take a very brief, quick look at the game that started everything, my favorite game of all time. It really needs no introduction, but I'm going to give it one anyways. Xenogears. Xenogears holds a very special place in my heart because when I was younger, I was not really into RPGs. In fact, I despised them. As soon as I turned on an RPG and saw that it was turn-based combat, I was like so quick to shun it and toss it away. And like many millennials coming in 1997 and 1998 when Final Fantasy VII was being shown for the PlayStation, 7 was my gateway drug, but it was really Xenogears a couple months later that really sucked me in and pulled me into a whole different kind of gameplay experience. A crazy world, a very dark, confusing, just everything about it was so mechanically dense compared to Final Fantasy VII, which I thought was a dark game for the time, the themes that it had, what it was trying to present. But Xenogears was just on a whole nother level. Xenogears, you follow the main character, Fei Fong Wong, and it just starts off as the typical, you wake up in a village, you have amnesia type of storyline that these games have. But it spirals into so much more than that. It spirals into politics and warring countries and religion. Lots and lots of religion, like Noah's Ark, Judaism, Jesus, like crucifixion. These are all things that are brought up, like different types of psychology and philosophical thoughts, Fujian thoughts. It's just a very crazy game. Tetsuya Takahashi, the job that he did on this game, him and his team at Square, like allowing the game to tackle these issues. It was handled a bit clumsy. I'm not gonna lie, the translation wasn't great even back then, and if you look at it now, there's definitely some problems with it. Like there's so much dots in every single conversation, it's maddening at some point. But still, it was just very different than anything else at the time. Like there was no game bold enough to try to tackle the themes of God and our place in the world and challenge like what that means. Like most video games were still getting ported from the arcade, like it was still very checkpoint, and it just wasn't on that level. I just felt like there's nothing like it, and it kept me in there. And on top of that, like the game itself, the gameplay, the graphics, the mixing of the incredible 2D art with the 3D character models of the Gears, which are the mecca of this world, this universe that they've created, and just playing through, getting new characters, the amazing combat system, having the death blows where it was like you're inputting commands like a fighting game, but they would trigger special moves that you can learn depending on how much you input them. Even the animation for it, like just a mixture of martial arts, the little bit of DBZ and Gundam, because that's right when Toonami was like really bumping. So you had like the kung fu and the ki of like a Dragon Ball type of thing. You had the awesome Gears, which were like Gundam and Gundam Wing, mixed with this crazy ass storyline. Like everything just combined to create like the ultimate personification of mid-90s Japan in terms of what I loved and what I thought was cool. And it all, kind of compiled itself onto Xenogears. And it has problems. It's not a perfect game. The pacing can be a bit odd. The writing can be a bit confusing, like the way they write it and how they write about some things. They could definitely clean that up if they ever went back to it. And obviously, the most infamous drama ever, the entire second disc of the game is your character sitting in a chair for the most part and being told the storyline through what feels like hours and hours of exposition. It was very obviously rushed, and they didn't have time to fully develop what they wanted to for that second half. Despite all of that, though, it wraps up in a crazy-ass way. You get the post-credit scene where you see Part 5, and you're like, holy crap, this is Part 5, let me see the other ones, like, what's going on? Which has now led to, you know, Takahashi left Square, went to Namco, started the Xenosaga thing, Monolith's off, but now he's with Nintendo doing Xenoblade. And even though there's no direct story continuation due to the license constantly switching hands, the one thing that has stayed the same is the heart of the game, the writing, the story, the characters, the music. They've kept that core of what the Xeno series is in a much more cohesive way than even like the Final Fantasy games as a series. And I just love that a game like in 2017, like Xenoblade 2, can be coming out that shuns loot boxes and all that crap, puts it all aside, and just lets you be in the game. You're just in there, you're having fun, you're having a good time. And it wouldn't have happened if Xenogears wasn't allowed to get made, translated, and released. So I just want to say a lot of props to Xenogears. It's my favorite video game of all time. If you guys haven't played it, it absolutely holds up. Like, there's some translation stuff that's going to be a bit rough, but if you have a PS1 or you know, a PS2, grab it, play it however you can. It's a fantastic game. It's one of the great RPGs of all time. It's my #1 game ever, period, point blank. And I just can't wait for Xenoblade 2 this Friday. My name is Nantox. I hope you enjoyed this quick look back at Xenogears, and I'll see all of you guys next time. Thanks for watching.